Hey yo, what's flipping up with the Chico army and newbies? Welcome to the crypto channel who always pulls off the best tricks, like this guy. You know, our backflip. Yeah, we can do that. And it's time for Chico Crypto. The month of December, a cold one weather-wise, but some companies and blockchains are going to be hot to finish off the year. Ethereum, of course, it's going to be nice and toasty. As its 2.0 beacon chain, it had a successful launch. And as I speak, the proof-of-stake blockchain is running with over 21,000 active validators and over 674,000 Ethereum staked with them. And those validators, epochs, and blocks are finalizing and passing through without a hitch. It's robust, it's decentralized, it's secure. It was a rounding success. And Ethereum has 2021 to be very bullish about, as this is just phase 0, and with each phase and obstacle passed throughout the next year, Ether will just further prove its worthiness as a dominant financial kingdom. So if you haven't noticed on this channel, we are looking for two things, deep DeFi or deep enterprise. And if it combines both of those things, even freaking better. On Monday, I covered the enterprise Ethereum connections in the Asia Pacific region, including some possible altcoin connections to Samsung. Now it's time to cover enterprise Ethereum in the West, and something big for another altcoin. So, me friends, Unibright, you remember how I said December was going to be oh so good for this company? Well, here we go. Unibright dropped a blog post yesterday titled Baseline as a Service Demo Day. Yeah, they are going to be demoing the Baseline protocol December 10th. And as we can see, the participants are Kona Bottlers, Coca Cola, Fraunhofer IPK, Between, of course, the Baseline protocol, Provide, Envision Blockchain, dApps Inc., Nethermind, and ConCircle. Below it says, this virtual event will showcase the progress we have made on Baseline-related customer projects, as well as our unified technology stack, which is nearing a general availability release candidate. So this is going to be pretty big in my opinion, as progress is going to be shown, and more updates are coming on the Provide and Unibright unified tech stack. And here is a breakdown of that. And as we can see, it flows all the way from SAP and ERP integration, aka enterprise to enterprise DeFi and tokenization. The even freaking better. And we can see from the tech stack, Unibright's free equity platform is what makes up the enterprise DeFi piece. So, please, let me try and explain this. Without enterprise, DeFi has been able to grow to nearly $14.5 billion in TVL. What do you think is going to happen when enterprise DeFi is unlocked? That TVL will look like peanuts. So what exactly is Unibright free equity? Well, Unibright, they have been working on it for some time, as back as early 2019, but it only became recently known it would be directly included in the Baseline tech stack. And a very important update Unibright gave regarding this enterprise DeFi component was back in July in a blog titled Unibright and DeFi Free Equity Trading Component Demo. It's important because they explained its integration with Baseline in the section Baseline, Unibright, Free Equity, and DeFi. They said this: Unibright has many touching points with DeFi and Baseline, generating tokens automatically out of Baseline processes. Example, tokenized invoices. 2. Adding free equity components on top of generated tokens. Example, adding liquidity for factored tokenized invoices. And 3. Visually defining Baseline circuits to Baseline ownership transferal, notarization, and integration of tokenized assets into off-chain systems. So a lot of gobbledygook, I'm sure, but what's important is the tokenized invoices, as I think on December 10th, we will be learning much more about that. Well, let's just look who is hosting the event. Back at Unibright's blog post, Rachel Wolfson of Cointelegraph. Well, Rachel, she journaled an article in late October titled Shifting Gears, Driving Enterprise DeFi Adoption Through Tokenization. And the article specifically mentions Unibright provide the baseline protocol and says Coke One North America was the first publicly announced use case, demonstrating how the baseline protocol is allowing the bottling giant to tokenize invoices across its supply chain. So obviously, Unibright is helping to generate tokens out of baseline processes for Coke One. As they said, that is one of their touching points. Look back at their blog post. Also in their blog post, they said adding free equity components on top of the generated tokens, with the example adding liquidity for factored tokenized invoices. So that's the big one. That's the granddaddy, me friends. If you don't know what factoring is, it's the selling of your accounts receivables, aka invoices, to get money now instead of waiting for the customers to pay, sometimes up to 90 days. It's a massive industry just waiting to be tokenized. And even John Wolpert, Baseline and Consensus leader, knows this is what it's all about. At Baseline launch, he said this: what you're doing is injecting the hash, the state marker, into an ERC20 token and moving that around, which would look like nonsense to anybody other than parties that were doing it. So you could do invoice factoring on the mainnet out in the open without your competitor knowing anything about your invoices. And Unibright has already demoed free equity, which was built for this. It can tokenize invoices, it can set up liquidity pools for them, it can set the bonding curves, and it allows the execution of trades, aka buys and sells of the tokenized invoices. So we've covered a ton about Unibright, but now let's dig into the others who are a part of this, as it's a whole Baseline team, and a lot of this has to do with Coca Cola. So another member of the Baseline protocol I haven't covered much is the Morpheus network. Now back in May, they announced a big team addition, the hiring of Carl Wood, and their blog post gives us some juicy details. It dives into the solid details of who Carl Wood is. I'll let you read into that, but it said this about him: Carl has also been working hard on a project to be announced with a Fortune 50 food and beverage company. I wonder who that is. Well, right above that in the blog is a picture of Carl with a Morpheus team member on the far left, who is highly important. That is Benjamin Smith, Director of Business Development for Morpheus, but also the son of Coca-Cola President and COO Brian Smith. So they're working on it, another deal, another one with Coke, as Coca-Cola bottlers are separate entities. Coke One is a North American bottler, so the project being worked on is for Coca-Cola FEMSA, the Latin American unit. As if you go back to Carl's blog post, Latin America is his domain, and he is a member of the Mexican Finance Executive Unit. Now you have to understand that Coca-Cola FEMSA, it's structured kind of weird. Coca-Cola doesn't even have full corporate power. They have minority stake. Majority stakeholder and voting power holder is the company FEMSA. And Carl Wood is their connection to them. Per his LinkedIn, Daniel Levi gave him a recommendation. And this is what Daniel said: the project I ran at Coca-Cola FEMSA, having Carl as a service provider, data warehouse implementation, was successful thanks to his support and dedication. So the support of FEMSA from Carl, the support of Coca-Cola from Benjamin, and I wouldn't doubt we hear something soon about Coca-Cola Latin America getting based. But now let's end this episode off with a little weird connection coming up from blockchain leak journalist HSVGTS. He found it, give him a follow, Twitter link is in the description. So he found that there's a blockchain alliance out there called the BITA, the Blockchain in Transport Alliance. Back in 2018, February, Warren Buffett's railway firm BNSF joined the alliance. Well, so did the Morpheus network. And who loves Coca-Cola? Warren Buffett loves Coca-Cola, owning nearly 10% of the company. Cheers, I'll see you next time.